NCRP Productions presents Torg Eternity by Ulisses Spiele, The Breifne Crown, Episode 6. Moving forward, we would like to give you a content warning. Tharkhold and other realities are places where very bad things happen to good people. Acts and situations in this podcast may trigger those who suffer from trauma caused by sexual assault, torture, slavery, and violence. Please, listener discretion is advised.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to a Sunday of Possibilities. My name's Greg, and I will be your GM for the Breifne Crown campaign in Torg. I would like to take this time and have our Storm Knights introduce themselves, starting to my left.
Hi, I'm Tori. I'm playing Evangeline Francis, the Monster Slayer from Aurora.
I am Shan, and I'm playing Azrael, the Cyber Witch from the Cyber Papacy Cosm.
Hey, it's Barry. I am running Max Elite, the Freedom Fighter from Tharkhold.
This is Victoria. I'm playing Iara Bay, the Elf Necromancer from Isle.
Hello, everybody. This is David, and I am playing Elias Strode, the Saculum Chaplain from Aurora.
Sweet. So, last week we finished up the first part that introduced the crown, and the Storm Knights got possibility points to spend for experience. Is anybody planning on buying anything for their character?
And that's the 5 you gave us?
That's correct.
I am planning on taking the social perk Tea Master.
And what does that do?
Well, the Tea Master basically allows me to prepare a session of tea in which we can all partake and draw destiny cards.
Oh.
Which is pretty cool. So on a standard success, the Tea Master and all guests draw a destiny card. On a good success, all guests draw a destiny card. The Tea Master draws 2 cards, then chooses one of them and discards the other. And on an outstanding success, it's the same as good, but the Tea Master draws 2 cards and keeps both.
Oh, nice.
So not only does it give everyone a destiny card, but it also allows the tea preparer to, get an extra one, which could be kind of nice.
And you guys have found out through the course of the game and combat that those destiny cards come in handy.
Yes.
Yeah, they do.
I am also going to spend my experience points, and I'm going to pick the cantrip perk.
Yeah, you can spend, once you accrue your possibility points, you can spend them at any time. And, even mid-combat, again, you guys are Storm Knights, you can spend your perks mid-combat, and that just kind of represents you as Storm Knights having the ability to use that possibility energy to make reality happen. So you can save your points, or you can spend them, whenever. So there's no set time to spend them.
So, the term cantrip refers to spells that exist everywhere in Isle. No training in spellcasting is needed, although most require the caster to have the proper magic skill. A cantrip can be cast by anyone with the correct skill level in Isle, but cannot be cast outside of Isle unless the caster has the cantrip perk. These minor spells cause backlash. So as long as I'm having enough axiom level to get to it and are within the right level. So some of them are, I don't know if the cantrips. I know some of the spells are beta level, so I can't quite do that. But it doesn't look like any of the cantrips are.
Okay. And I think that's just an Eilish only perk, right?
Yes. Because the cantrips are only Eilish. That I'm looking at in the Eilish book, and they're only in the Eilish book, so.
There aren't cantrips that I know of in Tharkhold.
I haven't seen them in the Cyber Papacy either.
So if I can just use my 5 points to take a perk I already have again?
Oh, to add more spells or something like that?
Well, if I took the Cyberware perk again, I get an additional 5,000 money to spend on an additional piece of cyberware. And I was thinking of Cyberham Encrypted Comms, which allows silent communication.
Yes, so your perks that you start the game with, those are your starting perks. Okay. If you're going to spend your experience to get a new perk, it would just be the standard 5 points to buy.
But if I wanted to take the perk again, is it...
It's still just the
your first perk that you spend experience on is 5. And then for every one that you do after that, it adds additional 2. So the second one will be 7, the third one will be 9.
To retake the same perk
It doesn't
twice?
matter which one you take it, just every time you buy a new perk. So the first one you ever buy in advancement is 5.
So I have to wait till I get 7 points to buy a second perk?
No, you can buy the same perk. Like I could buy Miracle again and get a new Miracle. It would cost me 5 the first time I spent experience to get a new perk.
The next time you want it.
Oh, so the second,
Exactly.
okay.
Correct. So you could spend your 5 points now to buy your buy that cyber perk.
Some of these would be irrelevant in any other realm but my own, but I feel like that one would work because it's like some of this is like Fool's a retina scan, but unless we're going somewhere that has retina scans, that's irrelevant.
Well, seeing how useful the potions and the potion launcher were last round, I think I'm going to go ahead and get the Vial Bandolier, so that increases what I'm able to hold, adding 3 more active potions. So
Oh,
I can
damn.
hold 6.
Nice.
I'm gonna take the Realm Runner perk. So
You know what? I just changed my mind. That's right. You had said that at the beginning. I think that's a smart move.
yeah, because it's the Storm Knight has a natural feel for manipulating reality. He ignores 4 points of reality penalties when attempting to reconnect, and may ignore disconnection the first time it happens each act. So I'm gonna take the Realm Runner.
Not a bad call.
So now I
have
have
also
0
spent-
XP, right?
Correct.
Okay.
I've also spent the points on that as well.
Because one of the things with trying to reconnect, if you're in a dominant or a pure zone, it does add minuses. I see Victoria over there thinking no.
Yeah. Well, because he disconnected twice already.
Yeah.
Yep, at least
And
twice.
if we're in
And
core
I,
Earth,
I have, because I'm so high in magic for my Cosm, it's really bad when I go to an area that's not as magical.
same
which-
with me with the tech.
right.
Like, I don't want to just suddenly not be able to cast lightning anymore,
Right.
or well, my arm won't work.
And you don't get to use possibilities.
Yeah,
and you don't
that's-
reroll on a 10. And
Okay. You've convinced me.
yeah, Greg did say it at the beginning of the
Yeah.
campaign. I didn't have the points to get it, but
I'll get my new cyberware some other time.
Should we all be drawing a Cosm card?
No, because we're all in core Earth.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay.
So since we're now kind of wrapping up for what experience points people have bought or new perks, can somebody tell us how we wrapped up our last session for our listening audience?
We ended up fighting the Elven lady, the Dark Elf lady,
Do you remember her name?
Lady Nightbird.
The Lady
the
Nightbird.
Lady Nightbird, yes. And the Tharkhold demon warped away through a veil of black magic. And then we ended up fighting a bunch of Gospog and the Lady Nightbird, who slipped through our grasp.
And I remember that she was a tough fight. She damn near fried Azrael in it.
Yeah,
It was tough.
that sucked.
What was the side of where the Maelstrom Bridge got nuked? Was that
That was in Moscow,
Moscow?
proper.
Oh, so I mean, like, where to go there? Do we have to worry about radiation and things like that?
There
Like
is
Chernobyl.
Yeah.
there is a potential for radiation
Yeah.
poisoning or radiation sickness.
Ooh, yeah. Jeez.
What's interesting though
like
is
that.
the Tharkholdu reality. So it's not the radiation there is not like a full blown radioactive fallout like Chernobyl. The reality altered some of the radiation too. So it's people joke about mutants and growing new things. Well, it actually did.
Two-headed dogs.
And what's interesting is like over in Tharkhold, the different metals and part of the explosion and the fallout fused to either some of the survivors or some of the animals, and so it's a weird mutated animal with cybernetics because the metal fused with them, and reality, the Tharkhold reality, turned it into cybernetics. Tharkhold is not a nice place.
but it could be.
Return it to its former glory.
So on the ship, other than starting to work on your new potions, is anybody else doing anything in particular?
Sharpening my blades.
How about some tea?
Tea sounds amazing.
I'll have some tea with you.
Tea party.
Okay.
All right.
So Jones informs you that right now the course that you guys are traveling is to Morocco.
Is that part of Core Earth?
Morocco is core Earth.
Okay. And why are we going there?
Because they don't necessarily want to fly over the Cyber Papacy or Isle to get to Tharkholdu realms. It's easier just to stay in core Earth for transportation.
So, being in Core Earth, I am below the 12 magic.
Yes, the magic axiom in core Earth is 9.
Mine is 14.
So, below magic axiom 12, fatigue causes 3 shock. Does that just automatically happen, or how does that work?
Was if you have a higher magic
That's
than
my
Core Earth
magic
magic, then you don't have to
affinity.
worry about it, right?
My magic affinity, because I'm part of Isle, if I go into a cosm that has below magic axiom of 12, the fatigue causes 3 shock.
So it's automatic fatigue?
I think
Right.
so. Maybe I'll look it up.
Okay.
Does that apply to me too?
No, because she's
I-
Eilish.
Hers is specific.
Yeah. Elves are born and bred of magic and suffer without it. Anytime an elf is in a realm with a magic axiom less than 12, any fatigue result causes an extra point of shock.
Okay, so you're not
That's
fatigued.
different. Okay.
But like say for example, if the radiation, you start feeling impacts of the radiation and you're fatigued or that causes fatigue, then the shock would apply.
Okay.
All right, I'll make my roll for my tea party. See if we get a Destiny card.
Oh, okay.
13.
13, so
So,
just a standard success.
Standard success, so we all get a card.
Yeah, so everyone go ahead and draw your destiny cards.
Destiny card.
Yeah, so draw your four normal, and because of your T-Storm one, you get the extra. So to Morocco, anybody doing anything?
We're sailing to Morocco, and then from there we're going to fly to...
Yeah, so Jones tells you that the mission is being planned, and right now destination is to Morocco. He does know, though, from Morocco at Saleh Airport in Rabat, you'll be taking a flight there to Berlin. So even though Berlin is right now within the cyber papacy, it actually remains a core Earth hardpoint. So core Earth reality is still present in Berlin.
The map on the back of your screen there looks like most of Germany is not affected.
Oh, good. This may be the year 1, and so since we're playing...
It's expanded since?
They've expanded out. So all of the High Lords, except for the Gaunt Man, has made an effort to expand their realities by planting stelae. What the Gaunt Man has done is, instead of trying to expand his territory, he's been making his reality go from dominant to pure.
So he's digging in harder.
So he's entrenching. Yep. So once you guys get to Morocco, you're flying over to Berlin.
I feel like I'm going on all these like trips that are bucket list places in real life.
Berlin has changed from over the war, and it is definitely now Delphi Council ran. There's a strong influence there, and many of the missions that go into Isle, the Cyber Papacy, and Tharkhold are actually stationed out of Berlin. And one thing that's interesting is Jones did not accompany you to Berlin.
Did he stay at the Nance?
He said that he has to go and brief Quinn Sebastian in person. So Quinn Sebastian is the director of the Delphi Council.
And what's our final destination?
Don't know yet.
We're going to find out more in Berlin.
That Jones has alluded to that. Did anybody make an effort to keep in their possession the Breifne Crown?
Am I the one that has it?
To my knowledge.
Yeah, she picked it up, and I think she just held on to it.
Hopefully you didn't
Or did you guys leave it?
I remember we at least brought it to Jones to show him.
Right.
Yeah, I remember him seeing it.
I didn't write down anything about anybody particularly like holding on to it.
So then Jones has it.
Okay.
I just kind of assumed you had kept it, but if you didn't write it
We
down,
can assume I kept it. That's fine.
Write it down.
We're wearing it.
I have the Breifne Crown.
I feel like it would be good for us to have it since our plan is to get all the gems in it. And
Yeah, it wouldn't make any sense to not have the main bit.
Yeah, I wonder if this is the shard or not. Guess we'll find out when we get completely out of here. And
halfway across the world.
So one thing that with the Breifne Crown that you're noticing is the shard in it is definitely, matches, and Jones confirms that it is an Eternity shard, but it doesn't seem to be active. And the best that Jones can surmise is the crown needs to be made whole with the remaining shards before it becomes active.
Like we need to complete the circuit.
Correct.
Okay.
So not like the Infinity Gauntlet.
Nope.
Okay, as you guys fly into Berlin, you're met at it's a private hangar where you're flown in, controlled by the Delphi Council, and you're met with basically a convoy of 3 black tinted window SUVs, and you are loaded in and transported to a nearby base. So the base, the outside of it looks to have just like this industrial park feel. Chain link fence, Constantine wire, motorized gate, and the outside facade seems to be completely industrial. As you pull into one of the main bays, though, you can see once the door closes and you guys get out and get funneled into one of the doors leading into inside the complex, that it is nothing resembling inside. It's like a full-blown secret, military-style base. So you're shown to your rooms. You're told that at 0700 there will be a briefing, and after that you're just kind of left to your own devices. It's about early afternoon when you guys landed and arrived at the base.
Is there somewhere to get food?
Oh
Yeah, we're
absolutely.
in Berlin, right?
You are in Berlin right now.
I'm gonna go get Berlin food.
Schnitzel.
I'm gonna
Some
like
schnitzels?
live vicariously through this game at like my bucket list of going to Berlin.
So yeah, you find a nice, good schnitzel.
And a Jaeger schnitzel with mushrooms. And
Stop.
Very good.
Good thing you brought Taco Bell for lunch.
Yeah.
A knife Hefeweizen, on tap if you want. Just-
Have advice on tap everywhere in Germany.
Just ice cold.
Oh yeah.
And now I'm hungry.
So you two go find food, get a schnitzel and a nice pint of Hefeweizen. Anybody else doing anything?
I'm joining the food train.
Yes.
Okay.
If everyone's going for food, I'll go.
Father Elias?
Yeah. I'm definitely in on the food run.
Okay.
I think we deserve it after our last fight.
So when you go into the chow hall, people are in and out. It's not packed. There really is no set lunchtime. You see, what looks like to be other, like team members, coming in. They just kind of have that team look. People come in groups, and you can see the camaraderie there.
Are we like a SEAL team? Do we have like a number?
You're Team Zulu.
We're Team Zulu. That's cool.
So you actually are a registered team in the Delphi Council.
It might be interesting to maybe sit with one of the other teams and swap
what
stories. I mean, we're in Berlin. Do we need to have any concerns? Being in Europe now, which is a little closer to Tharkhold, do we need? I look at Mexico. Do we need to be concerned that this demon will come back at any point and put us all on the defensive?
Demons are capricious. You never know.
Yeah, so other than that, just like I said, day-to-day life basis on the base, it's, people are going, there's a range there's mat rooms. They actually put in a place where it's kind of like a range, but set up specifically for magic and miracles, so people can, try to hone their magical skills and, their miraculous skills. Although not many miracles go there, because most people who pray to their gods don't necessarily call upon that miracle just for practice. It's more faith-based, and they'll answer because your faith is pure and strong. But you can see that Core Earth and the people of Core Earth have adapted pretty quickly within a year's time since the invasion, a little over a year, to be able to set up and actually get places like this in place to be able to fight and combat in the possibility wars. It says a lot of Earth's ability to respond to the invasion, since I think nobody here is Core Earth.
Nope.
No.
So they're not looking at us weird being an elf and people with metal arms and such.
No, like I said, being right at the cusp of 3 different realities, it is not weird at all. And the Delphi Council has, one of the things that they have done is open up and embrace pretty much, if somebody's willing to fight against the High Lords, then at the very minimum, they want to ally with those, with that person or that entity or that group that they're with. And then they also make concerted efforts to be able to go and recruit people from other cosms, such as Jones has recruited you, because that's one of the best ways that the Delphi Council has got intelligence from the other cosms, especially when it comes to like the world laws, so that way they can prep when they're sending in new teams. Understand like the occult tech, understand how the workings of magic, understand the advanced cybernetics, understand the living nature of nightmares. And so they've made concerted efforts to recruit and gather that intelligence, and it really does come from those who recruited from different realities.
After eating, I am going to go see if I can find someone that can update me on where each of the factions has control in Tharkhold. Are we going? We're going to Moscow. Who has control there? Which of the demon lords is in each of the places?
So as you start asking, the people that are in the know, they acknowledge your question, but they let you know that your arrival is expected and you should receive a briefing tomorrow.
So what do I do till then?
So until then, there's sleep when you can sleep, eat when you can eat.
I'd like to
And
go.
what else?
If you want to train, you can train. If you like video games, we got a whole gaming network all set up.
Don't know what that is. What else?
What do you
just
want?
going to sit?
You want hookers and blow?
I don't know what this is. Are we going to just sit?
What is hookers and blow?
He sees your priestly adornments and he's like, a form of leisurely entertainment.
Does it hone the combat skills?
You can say that some.
Then
That's a good
please get me hookers and blow.
It's like, come with me, my friend.
I actually want to go to, after eating, I want to go to the medical facility and see if they've got a triage or something like that I can assist with, since I can perform healing. And,
Okay.
See if there's a way for me to render my services, and from there probably take some time in the chapel.
Okay. They absolutely do have a chapel. Not only that, they actually have chapels set aside for foreign gods that you're not aware of.
That's weird.
Yeah, but your god is actually represented here amongst the different pantheons. They do have a base hospital, but it's not a combat triage center, so it's just, like basic.
They don't have anybody coming in, they don't have a trauma center where people are coming for missions, other team members that are maybe coming in wounded.
They have a trauma center set up just in the event that there needs to be like a hard exfil.
Something happens here.
Right.
Okay.
Or this is actually a trauma stop if someone's coming in with a hard exfil to exfil injured. And so, Berlin, they'll stop here to be able to do that, but nothing in at the moment.
All right. Then I'll spend my time in the chapel sharing doctrine, these false beliefs, trying to set the mind straight on anyone that may be coming into worship outside of, obviously, the one true God.
So there's a couple people who are in the Orortian chapel. Do you actually go into the other chapels of like Lanala?
Are there different chapels for each one?
Yes.
Are they all like little cubicles?
So not necessarily cubicles, but basically it's a religious hallway. And so
They used to be dining rooms, or they used to be meeting rooms.
it almost looks like it was built just recently. So whether or not this base was
You
converted.
guys think this is gothic enough for these guys?
Yeah. Would they feel comfortable in this decor?
Look at them being all woke.
Well, I definitely go into one of the other ones and begin asking questions. And
So the first one that you go into, you actually see a walking lizard-like man.
Tell me about your god. False. Tell me about your god. False.
What kind of affliction has rendered you in such a state?
It's like, there is no affliction. He's like, I am an Adinos worshiper of Lanala, the goddess.
So I will. Did you know that the worship of
Gonna end
false
up in the brig.
gods and idols, would be forms of blasphemy? But it may not be your fault. You may not have been fortunate enough to be exposed to the proper teachings. But I'm here and I can share those with you.
So, we are quite familiar with the Seikelum belief system. Your belief is strong, and you are respected for your prowess. However, we do actually find the spiritual strength of Orosh to be lacking compared to that of the followers of Lanala. And basically that opens up a huge debate between you guys.
I'm gonna play his romance card. So that he, takes a liking to me as I try and share my testimony of my teachings.
So that's a destiny card.
Can I play that, or is that only during combat?
Right, there's no destiny pool.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay.
Unless it says something like play.
Well, it just says play to encourage an amorous relationship between your character and a non-player character. Gain 3 possibilities. You may spend possibilities for this character. Alternatively, discard for a possibility and draw a new card. So it sounds like you play it outside of.
I have mistaken identity, which reads, play to be mistaken for someone else when it is advantageous for you. Someone working with your foes, a trusted celebrity, an unexpected courier, etc.
So there's some destiny cards where it actually says play from your hand.
Okay.
And unless it actually says that, you're unable to play it from your hand. It has to be put into the destiny pool.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, and I'll just do my best to enthrall.
No, yeah, you find yourself in a very intelligent debate. This Adinos that he referred to himself is, very theologically proficient.
Interesting.
Max, so you, if allowed, are introduced to hookers and blow. And so Berlin has a lot of them.
Oh, yeah.
I'm uncertain how this will help in training.
And so it's the guy that you're with, Christoph, tells you, it's to loosen up and kind of get the blood going, get the blood juices flowing.
Sure.
So this is a combat drug.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
And how do I administer it?
Well, you can smoke it, you can snort it. The best way to do it is just put a little line on her belly button and take a bump from that.
And then how do I use it on her?
Let her tell you.
Very good. I figure it's not going to be 10 minutes before I realize this is
he's
not combat training.
So it's like, Trixie, take care of him.
Trixie.
Take you to the red light district,
So it depends on how far you want to go. You and Christoph can have a marvelous time tonight before briefing.
I'm gonna sit and not actually go talk to anybody, but I'm gonna try to listen in and see if there's anything that I can kind of pick up on. Mostly from, is it Lady Nightbird or Yavich? See if anything about them is being said.
So go ahead and roll streetwise.
Oh, I don't have that.
Investigations, if you have that, or evidence analysis.
I have evidence analysis.
Yeah, go ahead and roll evidence analysis.
14.
So 14, that is a success. It's a standard success. You're not picking anything up on Yavich or the Lady Nightbird specifically. You are picking up, though, that the new team is causing a buzz. And so nobody really knows what exactly mission that you guys are on, but it's getting around that the new team is here for something big.
I'm gonna keep listening.
Okay.
See if I can hear anything.
Nothing more beyond that, and you hold yourself to not really approachable, so not many people are going to come up to you and just start initiating a conversation. But I mean, that's what you're gathering. So people on the base know that you guys are here. They don't know what you're up against or what you're doing, but it's creating a stir.
All right.
And Iara and Azrael, you guys doing anything before you turn in?
I think I'm just gonna turn in. That sounds great. Get in that comfy bed.
I'd like to go see if there's like a blacksmith or something that for armor ammo. I'd like to get some more arrows for my bow. Maybe some fancy arrows if they have any.
So yeah, when you go over to the quartermaster, so it's not a blacksmith.
I figured, but that's what I know.
But that's what you know. That's what you're familiar with. And you can definitely get arrows. And one of the things that you see are mechanized broadheads. So it's not the broadheads that you're used to. There is a tech level, but if you want those with the mechanized broadheads, you can get them.
I would like to purchase some of those if I need to purchase them.
So what the quartermaster does is he gives you a form to fill out for requisitioning equipment.
Okay.
And so then he kind of looks at how you're dressed and your pointy ears, and he's like, "You have no idea what this is, do you?" "What is your name?" He grabs the form, turns it around, and starts filling out for you.
I am Iara Bay. I am of Isle.
"And how do you spell that?"
I spell it out for him.
Hey, he goes down, basically. So, "Do you know what a signature is? Make your mark here."
Okay. I sign. I make like a IB.
Okay. And how many do you want?
I would like 20 of them.
20?
Yes.
So he gets you 20 arrows in it. So they're not wood. It's a nice carbon fiber material with plastic veins. You're used to feather veins, but like these small little plastic veins. I mean, you look at them like, how the hell does these things fly? It's not the 4-inch goose down, goose feather quills that you're used to tying yours with.
Right.
And then the arrows itself, when you the arrow tip down, you can see these 3 like razor blades just kind of fall out and stick into place.
Nice.
And so you can tell just from your own archeries that this would open up a very nice wound channel, and so though they do a +1 damage.
When we were in Isle and we got to the beach, there was that pile of stuff that was there, and I picked up an Eilish sword.
Mm-hmm.
I never used it, and I don't want it. Can I sell it?
No one's buying swords, but they tell you that there are people who come in, or when they'll definitely put it with the stores, and somebody who is going into Isle may need it for a future mission.
Okay, well, I'm going to get rid of it.
Okay.
They can have it.
Just leave it sitting in the corner. That's all.
It's like above the fireplace.
Nice.
I'd like to go to the shooting range to practice with these new arrows that I've never tried before.
Okay, so they tell you that the mechanical broadhead, when putting them into basically bales, it actually may damage the broadhead, but they give you broad points to go and shoot.
Okay.
And so, but kind of
Practice
get
arrows.
used to what like the carbon fiber shafts and whatnot. They also show you like this weird different type of mechanical bow with like wheels on the end and 3-4 different strings and a release aid, so you don't it's not finger drawn, and you can get deep into that if you want to.
Sure. Although the tech of it is probably a little outside of my realm.
The tech of it is way outside your realm.
I'm like, this is so easy. This is amazing.
It is definitely not a longbow.
What would it take
Yeah.
for me to be able to use it outside it since my tech is so low?
So you could use it, but it's also possible that if you roll a 1, that the bow would convert over to your reality.
Okay. I could try to roll to get it back into the reality, or is it then it's stuck that way?
It might be stuck that way.
Okay.
So, because equipment is different.
Gotcha.
We might want to take that sword if we're going to a high tech level place. So if we use it, it could potentially turn into like something really cool, like a rocket launcher.
Well, lower tech doesn't transform to higher tech.
No, only the other way.
Only the other way,
Oh.
right.
Bummer. That'd be cool.
It's like goes from a sword to a lightsaber.
That'd be awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, lightsaber.
Yeah, there we go.
I would like this as well.
So he adds it on.
After I feel more comfortable with it, I'll head to bed.
So just while you're using it, roll me a d20 and just don't disconnect.
Okay.
Ooh.
Did you disconnect?
Yeah, that was a 2. So
It's not a 1.
It's not a 1.
As long as you don't roll
Oh,
one.
okay.
Yeah.
Then, all right then.
So if you were in a realm where you and the realm were both below the tech of what you're trying to use,
Okay,
then from a 1 to a 4, it would be a disconnect.
got it. All
But
right.
since you're in a realm that supports the tech,
Just
it's just a 1.
Okay, got it. Cool. Then I did not disconnect.
Okay.
I rolled a 2.
Max, how late do you stay out
All night.
with Trixie
Yeah, you're up
and,
all night,
and
man.
Christoph?
Is he going to keep bringing me to different places and trying different things?
As long as you're willing, he's willing to party with you.
Well, if this is what they consider combat, I should at least learn what makes them the way they are. So, yeah, the whole night.
Okay, so about 5 o'clock in the morning, you start stumbling back in, and you know you have a 7 o'clock briefing. But
It's fine.
yeah, but
We've gone 36 hours easily.
and the blow helps keep you awake. What do you guys do as it starts getting close to for briefing?
Breakfast.
Yeah.
Breakfast.
Breakfast and then head to the briefing room.
Chow ho's open early, so no problem. Guys get some breakfast. When you come into the briefing room, just think of it kind of like, you know, a briefing that you would see in, you know, like Las Vegas Metro PD. Just the monitors on the walls, several monitors, and you know, just the white, you know, thin benches as people kind of sit in, just 10 deep, 2 rows. So.
I do want to spend some time blessing the water and refilling them in my vials that I had the
He was going to be putting it into the
pouring job.
the ones in the hallway.
The water dispenser.
No problem. You can refill
Oh,
back
yeah.
up on that. So as you guys walk in, standing at the lectern, you can see a very sharply dressed man. He's about 6'2", fit and trim. He has an immaculately trimmed brown beard, short, close-cropped graying hair. His widow peak is highlighted by a receding hairline. His heather gray uniform is pressed very sharp and very crisp, and you can tell that he has a military bearing as he's standing at the lectern waiting for everyone to file in. As each person files in, he gives a brief nod.
How many of us are in there? Is it just our group?
Just the group.
I'm assuming we're all going to go sit down.
At 07 sharp, he says, "Good morning," in a very slow German accent. I don't have a German accent, but he speaks with a German accent. And he says, "Director Sebastian has asked me to facilitate this incursion into Tharkhold. I hope the seriousness of this mission is clear, since the director of the Delphi Council is now monitoring your progress. If the goddess, the Lady of the Lake, is accurate in her assessment of the Breifne Crown, then this is quite possibly the highest priority mission the Delphi Council is currently involved with. From what Jones has passed on to our analysts, the demon Yavich is an alpha demon serving Thrachin. Max, would you care to explain what an alpha demon is?"
So the alphas represent the Duke's right-hand people, as it were. They're strongest leaders, the ones that they put their most trust in if they trust anyone. That would mean that Yavich is very high up on the pecking.
Thrachin is currently in a contested grab for power with the thrall Jezreel and President Volkov to be the uncontested High Lord of Tharkhold. It is safe to assume that if Thrachin secures the Breifne Crown, that scale will be greatly tipped in favor of Thrachin. Storm Knights, it is imperative that we obtain the Breifne Crown and return it to the Lady of the Lake for a blessing to help Core Earth in this war.
So then you believe this Lady of the Lake? You believe her to be true?
It doesn't matter if I believe it or not. What matters is we cannot afford to not believe her.
Understood.
Any questions on the background? Anything to add?
Do we have any idea where the next shard is in Tharkhold?
No, we do not. And that is going to be your mission.
My hope is that we'll be drawn to it, much like we were drawn to it last time.
Eternity shards are incredibly difficult to predict the behavior and the manner in which it will assert its possibility energy.
Did we get a shard from Isle when we did that?
Yes.
Yes.
When we put it in the crown, did something? I don't remember.
It just automatically appeared in the crown.
Yeah, it
Okay.
attached, but it
Basically
didn't
another
do
time
anything.
until we get it
Yeah.
all put together, right?
Yeah.
It appears that the crown or the shards within the crown are inert until the crown has been completed. Now, the parameters of your mission. You'll be transported by a Brandenburg-class frigate over the Baltic Sea to the port city Gratsk in Poland. The shoreline is firmly within Core Earth reality, so we do not anticipate hostile intervention. From Gratsk, you will rendezvous with Juliet Company. They are veterans of multiple missions into Tharkhold. You will conduct a tandem hey-ho jump that is a high-altitude, high-open jump.
What?
Skydiving?
Yes.
What is this skydiving?
Do you care to explain?
Have you seen those metal birds that fly in the sky? We've been in one.
Just like Halo
Yeah.
jump.
So it's, you jump out of the door while that thing is still flying. And
Without wings?
without wings, and you have a giant parachute, which is essentially a bag attached to you, and when you fall down, you release the bag and it catches air so you don't hit the ground at full speed.
Doesn't this leave us open to attack by the demons when we are completely at our most vulnerable?
Absolutely.
That is why we consider a hey-ho to be the course of action here. You will be jumping at 28,000 feet instead of a standard 13,000 feet.
It's called Halo jump, high altitude, low opening.
This is a hey-ho,
Hey-ho.
high altitude, high opening.
Ho. It's called music.
What about the dragons?
When you exit the aircraft, you will be firmly within the Tharkhold reality.
Why can't the aircraft just land instead of us jumping out of it? That sounds dangerous.
Because we don't want to draw undue attention.
So there's no dragons.
I think a group of 5
I'm sure these bags will
flying out of the sky is gonna draw
It
quite
won't be
enough
just
attention.
5. There's an entire company coming with us.
It will be a tandem jump.
What does that mean?
What is this tandem?
It means 2 of you will be jumping with 1 chute.
That sounds less safe.
There's an odd number of us.
Well, if we have 5 in the other company, then there's 10 of us, and that would be even.
Correct.
All right.
The risk of the hey-ho is less than flying at lower altitude. The demons have some damn fine SAMs. You will land north of Moscow in the Blighted Lands, and you will make your way on foot to the remains of Moscow State University. The Laskin crime family, they are former Bratva, are current Delphi allies. And they have made their base of operations at Moscow State, and they will assist you in directing you to the location where we know or at last confirm Yavich was operating. Gather as much intelligence that you can, and then return to Juliet Company. While you are in Moscow, Juliet Company will secure ground transport and convey you back to Gratsk. That drive will be through Volkov-controlled territory, and these Delphi passports, and he stops and actually hands each of you a passport, should see you safely through as Delphi Council operatives. From Gratsk, you will be transported back to Berlin, and whatever intelligence you are able to gather will be analyzed. Any questions on the mission?
Yes. The last time we did an incursion into Isle, we were provided with Isle-like clothing to help fit in with the indigenous. Will we be also receiving such
Clothing
things?
won't matter.
It won't matter?
They won't question what you look like. You look like a thrall.
And you do not want to meet or come across the indigenous beings in Tharkhold. Max, would you care to tell the rest of your group the depravity demons are capable of?
Very deep.
So we can assume that anything we encounter there is a threat.
Yes.
Okay.
Any other questions?
What about this Lady Nightbird? Do we know of what her involvement is in any of this?
This is the first we heard from the briefing that you brought back from your mission in Isle. But it appears that she is quite a talented sorceress.
So we're assuming Yavich is going after the other Eternity shards.
It appears so. We do not know his motivations. Is he doing it Thrachen's bidding, or is he doing it on his own volition?
Well, either way, that means not only is he looking for them, but he is intending to reclaim the crown from us.
That is a safe assumption.
Do we know if we need to have the crown with us when we get a shard?
There's like a little beacon. Beep, beep.
Right, because I
We
would
left
think
it,
it would
so-
be
Like a metal detector.
possible.
We found it without the crown. We were drawn to it. Or we were drawn to the lady.
But it didn't appear until we had the crown, if I remember correctly, and it just appeared in the crown.
Yeah, I can't remember. Did we see it somewhere? I thought we saw it on a dais.
So when the crown appeared, the Isla shard was already attached.
Okay.
So I think it could be dangerous to carry the crown with us if that is what he is seeking.
I agree. I don't want to be ambushed and have him steal it.
Yeah, we'll lose it.
We can secure the crown here.
Oh, you got the crown. We decided you got it.
I think it could be safer to leave the crown behind, but if we
Now
need
I'm-
the crown for the shard to
What
be
if the
placed
crown?
in
What
it.
if the crown is necessary to extract the shard from wherever it
Right.
resides?
That we do not know. Also, we are not wanting to deprave Storm Knights of a possible Eternity Shard that could be used to combat whatever evil that they may come across.
I'm also worried about enemies infiltrating the Delphi Council. So I think I would be less paranoid if we kept it with us.
It's
I'm
good
on
thinking.
I assure you, in the history of the Delphi Council, that has not happened. He says without any hubris or malice.
And I'm thinking in my head, the history. If I remember correctly, Joan said it's a year.
Super long history.
A history,
But I
no
don't say
doubt.
anything about that.
It is a history.
I say we hold on to it.
Holding on to it.
That is entirely your discretion.
I have discretion that I'm going to keep it.
At Gratsk, you will rendezvous with Roger Bors. He is the leader of Juliet Company. He is a former American expat and SEAL Team 2 member. His most recent assignment before the Delphi Council was a member of GSG-9.
I don't know what that is.
That is the Germans' anti-terrorist assault squad.
Okay. I say it with still not understanding, but just move on.
Like,
Of course.
I get it.
It is within my authority, and based off of the briefings that Jones has given me, Azrael, I am appointing you as team leader of Team Zulu.
You're going to see Max
sir.
nodding.
At this point, I would like you to appoint a second in command to maintain the continuity of command should you fall.
Just for this mission?
For the team.
The reason why I'm asking is if we're going into Tharkhold, I'm picking Max because if I should fall, he'd be the most logical choice in this cosm.
Max, you are second in command.
Very good.
He takes a deep breath, sighs, bends his head down just a moment, gathers his thoughts, looks up, and he says, Tharkhold is a brutal reality. You will find new understandings to the words pain, despair, torture, and depravity. The realm rewards those who inflict pain onto others. There are only two forms of conflict resolution in Tharkhold: submit or dominate. There is no in between. Mercy is a weakness to be exploited. It will serve you well to remember. Everyone and everything in that realm is willing and desirous to fight. Be careful not to lose your humanity. Good fortune on your mission, Storm Knights. I fear you are going to need it. Max, is there anything that you can tell the team about your realm that they will need to know?
I'm not certain what they would need to know that wouldn't take us many years to teach.
We don't have many years, Max.
I understand. That was the point I was making. We need to move fast. We need to move quickly. Anything we come across, we need to dominate. You are the leader. You will need to do that.
Got it.
It was mentioned there was a sickness in the area last time as we were leaving Isle.
Yeah.
Do we need anything for that?
We will supply you in Gratsk with radiation badges. So
I had radiation pills when I built the character, but I'm assuming that was a core of the conversion, so I'm going to take those off.
okay.
What do you mean, radiation?
When the day of invasion, a bridge was dropped in Moscow, President Volkov retaliated with a nuclear bomb. He exploded the bridge, killing one of the dukes. As a result of that explosion, there is radioactive sickness potentially within the ground.
Like a curse on the land?
More like a man-made mechanical curse.
Are there any potions to go against this?
There might be, but Earth's magical axiom does not support that. So at Gratsk, you will be issued your radiation badges. If the indicator on the badge turns from green to yellow, you are at risk, but not yet susceptible to radiation poisoning. Should the badge turn red, you will be receiving some type of harm or damage from the radiation levels. From what we can ascertain, the Tharkhold reality has altered the radiation in ways that we don't understand. So it's behaving differently than what our scientists can explain due to the new reality.
Do I know anything from my medical background about what are signs, that may not be registering on this badge? Physical symptoms that may indicate, some type of exposure to this curse, this blight?
We can give you a list of radiation sickness symptoms to be aware of and watch out for.
And if these symptoms become apparent, what is our course of action?
Leave the area. It is possible that your miracles may heal it. We don't know.
When do we leave?
Sounds like a treacherous place.
In 1 hour.
Whoa. I guess let's get ready to go.
I already am ready.
It reeks of alcohol.
And his eyes are all bloodshot and dry.
Right, just all, veins are all popping outside of the temple. I'm ready.
So Gruber kind of looks around and no more questions, just nods and about faces and leaves the room.
I guess we'll
I'm
follow
looking
him.
at you.
We'll follow him. I thought he was about to say something else. We'll follow him out. Let's get your stuff, pack up, and meet at the rendezvous point.
So the rendezvous point is just out in the same entrance that you led to. So from Berlin, you're going to be driving up to a port north onto the Baltic Sea and be boarding the Brandenburg frigate from there. Takes you guys maybe, after the hour, and then takes you about a 2-hour drive from where you're at to get up to the port. And so about 10, you get over to the port and load up. What the captain tells you is by the time that you get into Gratsk, it should be close to nightfall, and from there you'll team up with Juliet Company and take a flight, and they anticipate you to be landing in Moscow at about 0400.
And land, you mean like with our feet because we jumped from the plane?
When he asked that, he just kind of like, that's,
Okay.
yes.
I'm just trying to
plane's
keep
not
all
gonna
this
land.
traveling straight,
Yeah,
right?
it's important clarity to understand.
Yeah, you said we'll land in Moscow.
I thought the
And
plane was landing,
I
yeah.
interpreted that as the plane was landing, and I was like, wait, I thought we were...
My mistake, Storm Knight, is you'll be landing from your Heiho jump.
At what time?
04.
Are they dropping us to march, in on foot, to get close to where we're going? Is that what's going on? Or?
That I don't know. We're
Does
just giving you the ride. I imagine that Juliet Company should be able to explain it to you.
It's supposed to be because there's dragons like the other place.
I agree.
We haven't seen any dragons in that area. There is a mix zone, but apparently demons love to fight dragons. Who
The
knew?
demon we saw had wings. They fly, probably.
They fly.
Demons fight dragons?
Demons fight everything.
He ain't lying.
Can you imagine the balls a demon would have to think it would dominate a dragon? We need to have extreme caution going through this.
I would imagine their balls would be large.
So, and from what you've heard from dragons, full-blown alpha techno demon, not afraid to take on a dragon.
That's scary.
Could it take a dragon, though? Would it kill it?
It certainly can.
A younger one, absolutely. Like, an elder dragon, probably not. But reality does weird things.
That's got to be insane coming, as you trying to rationalize
Right,
that. 'Cause,
yeah.
like, the scariest thing, in
Yeah.
existence is like a dragon where you come from.
Yes.
It's crazy. I don't understand why someone would want to go to such a place.
And you guys are willingly going there.
If that's what God wills, that is my path.
Yeah, by the time you guys get up to Gratsk, you go pull into bay, and you're advised that the ship will be here waiting.
Is this a similar ship like what we got out before?
No, the other one before was a destroyer from England. This one's more of, it's basically a German frigate, an all-purpose frigate.
Okay.
The Karl Kloss is its name. It's a full-blown battleship. It's just more multi-purpose, so it's not, it can be used for, support. It can be used for primary, but it's a pretty badass machine. And the true to form going up is stayed right along. You can see the Earth coast all the way up. So it did not go out deeper into the Baltics. So when you guys land at port, you come up and you can actually see a person leaning up against a big, black Lincoln Navigator, big black SUV. He is about 5'10", has a full beard. You can see that he's fit. He's wearing a Baltimore Orioles baseball cap, a t-shirt that says Orioles and a number 8 on it. He's wearing jeans, cut-off shorts, and flip-flops. And he's smiling as you guys approach.
And this is supposed to be Roger, you said?
Well, he's waiting for you, and so he's looking at you guys as you come walking up.
I'm walking up cautiously because something is off about this to me. This doesn't seem right.
So as you come walking up, he says, "I do.
And you are?
They call me Roger Boers.
You're who we're supposed to be meeting?
Who else do you expect, sweetheart?"
I roll my eyes so hard I see my brain.
You do the eye roll. He gives a good-natured chuckle. Doesn't take offense of it. And so, don't worry. We just got called in. The team's back preparing, so I just come to pick you guys up.
I'm looking at everybody like, is this for real?
So the level of security here must be very high considering your uniform.
Oh, this ain't uniform. I just rolled out of bed not too long ago.
As did I.
It's like, I can see it. Well done. Well, come on in. The other team's prepping up and gearing up, so we got a little bit of a drive to go.
I crawl into the vehicle.
Hesitantly.
We've been in one of these before.
So you guys climb in. He closes the door, starts up the engine. A country song's playing on the background, and so it's up pretty loud. And so he takes off, driving through the city of Gratsk.
I'm gonna play with the window.
What does that button do?
And so as you guys are kind of looking around, he's just smiles himself. That's one of my favorite things. People coming in, first time riding in a nice ride like this. How you like the music?
This is music.
Aye.
It is a catchy hymn.
Actually, there's quite a bit of gospel. He has a pretty good gospel track.
As it should.
I'm just so confused. This does not... I feel like this is a trap.
Do you say that?
No, it's
Okay.
internal monologuing here.
Got it.
Are you outwardly calm or not?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm looking at everything. I'm watching his hand movements.
He's driving, right?
I don't
Yeah,
I
driving.
don't yeah, I don't like that he came here looking like he just came from Maui.
I feel like we would share a little
Yeah, silent
little
communication.
silent- Is this really going on right now?
He seems very sure of himself that we are in, the utmost level of safety. I feel good about it.
Perhaps in the future we should obtain descriptions of those we are supposed to meet.
I'm also going to ask Jones to vet the people he tasks to transport us with.
Let me kill Mr. Guy that we met in Poland. He wasn't cutting the mustard.
He's just window down, elbow out, just drive with one hand. Just kind of this slight grin on his face, somewhat sardonic, and just as he's kind of, just listening to the chatter.
I asked, do we need to be worried about demons on our travel to where we're going?
Yeah, fuck yeah, you need to worry about demons. Have you ever seen one?
No. Oh, yes, I have. Just recently.
Have you ever fought one?
No.
Neither have we.
And
We run.
And I'm looking at how he's dressed and I'm wondering how in the world, I ask this, do you defend yourself in that outfit?
Well, this is what we go on mission on. So we'll kid up, sweetie, when we get back to the base.
Cringe.
You said you have never fought the demon, you have only run?
Best to avoid him if we can. So you don't agree?
I don't say anything back.
What about this jump? We're gonna be flying through the sky. Have you done that?
Oh yeah. Ahos aren't pleasant, but we don't want to attract any of the demons when we fly too low, so that's why we try to do a hey-ho or a drive-in. But the problem is, you guys are going to be deposited north of the Blasted Land, or north of Moscow in the Blasted Lands. You don't really want to drive through that.
What about walking through it?
Walking's easier because we have the opportunity to hide then and seek cover and take our way slow. A small group should be able to forge itself to your rendezvous point inside of Moscow instead of a large group.
Do you have a network of allies inside the Moscow area proper?
There's... Moscow proper is a triangulation point of all three factions vying for control of Tharkhold right now. Jezreel, her faction's in there, and she just doesn't care. She'll kill anything, anytime, anyone, based on her damn mood. And then Thrachin, he's expanding north, and he seems to be attempting to rally and recruit the marauders and mutants up in the Blasted Lands to fight for him. And then that nutbar Volkov, he's got the whole damn Russian military on his side, along with his allied pet demons.
What do you know of Yavich?
Can't say I've ever heard of a demon by the name of Yavich.
I guess that's a good thing if Yavich hasn't shown himself here.
Don't know much about demons. That fellow over there, the big one, should be able to tell you more than I can.
Let's go talk to the big fella.
He's right there.
He's talking about Max.
I thought you were talking about someone else. Max, do you have any information we would need to have that you haven't already told us?
On Yavich?
Yes.
Not much.
Okay.
We know him to be Thrachin's general, which, if this man is correct, it means that he should be in the north.
That's correct. From what we understand, while your team is on your mission for intelligence gathering, my team will be securing ground transport to get us all back out of Tharkhold. We'll be driving west, and that'll be through Volkov's territory. Even though that son bitch is playing both sides, he at least still honors Delphi teams at this moment.
So why couldn't we go in through that side?
We don't want to notify him of what we potentially be doing. Every Delphi team that Volkov sees go through, we end up going through, he calls a screening, but it's not better than interrogation.
And you think a whole bunch of people falling through the sky with parachutes is going to be less noticeable?
I do.
Have you done this before into Tharkhold held lands?
3 times. This will be the 4th jump for my team.
And you've never encountered a demon on the flight down?
First time we did, and that's why we end up going to a hey-ho.
And you ran from it and survived?
We did, but not all the team survived. His good-naturedness has left as he talks about that.
I guess if we have no other options, let's do it.
The only other option that we potentially had for this was, to drive through, but then that risk of driving through the Blasted Lands is
Not worth it.
not worth it. I think the risk of the hey-ho is less than it would be driving through the Blasted Lands.
I trust your expertise.
Hell yeah. Get you a big grin.
Why did they call you Boars?
Oh, that's what my daddy's name was.
Are you a God-fearing man? Boars?
Oh, sure.
Good. Sounds like where we're going. You need it.
I fear demons more than I fear God, and I put my trust in my rifle more than I put my trust in God. But if he answers your prayers, then hell, feels good, do it.
I am worried for you. God doesn't tread the lands that Thrachin or the others tread. I have never seen anything like you before.
In all reality, that's something to be kept on. The faithful in Tharkhold are very few, and there's not much.
Well, it's probably a good thing that I'm here.
I hope you maintain that, brother. I really do.
Without a doubt.
So for the remainder of the drive, he's just kind of conversational. So ask about the Orioles. Anyone heard any updates on them? Any prospects they got? You guys know?
The bird?
Who are the Orioles?
I'm from Brazil.
Oh,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
they have baseball in South America.
But they don't have the Orioles.
Orioles a bird?
Well, I think they said, if I want to say, it seemed like about a couple years ago, he opened up their international camp. I can't say if it was right there in Brazil. As he goes on and starts talking about
Mumbling
it.
to himself.
Yeah.
He's obviously talking about something different than what we are.
If you guys do nothing else, then just the drive passes on.
I keep an eye out for demons.
I'm absolutely keeping an eye out because this guy is so weird. I don't trust him.
Yeah, he's strangely uncomfortable. He's uncomfortably comfortable.
Yes. That's a good way to put it. He's way too casual.
Yeah.
But you're in Gratz, so this is still core Earth.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So I don't care. This is
Something's weird.
yeah.
Um,
Head on a swivel.
About 40 minutes later, goes into a private airfield and drives through, gets let through security, tells you that this is a Delphi Council-controlled airfield, so Delphi planes, come and go through here, and this is where we'll be heading out for the hey-ho. Drives into a nearby hangar, and when he pulls in, you see 4 other people, and basically they're all pretty much kitted up. And when I say kitted up, think that they're basically your military kit. So Roger gets out and his team kind of comes over, and so he looks at
When
his
they
team.
get over here, which one is the tallest?
That would be Midge the Fridge.
And how big is he?
He is 6'11", probably about 300 pounds.
So I walk over to him. I will jump with you.
He's well, I think that might be too much weight there, son. And so
I don't move.
So Midge is an absolute Hulk of a black man with the gnarly, like the biggest 70s afro and the 70s mustache that he has.
Porn stash.
Black porn stash, but yeah. And so, and he from there says, well, I think the jump assignments have already been assigned.
I'm still not moving from where
I look at the
here
group.
he is.
Wonder which one's mine.
So Roger comes up, kind of like, gets in between you and Midge and says, see that you met Midge the Fridge? So don't let his size scare you. Said,
It doesn't.
So damn fine, of course, damn fine to having a good fight, though. So this is Svetlana. He introduces Svetlana. She's a tall core Earth Russian. She's got short, spiky hair that's been dyed completely white, just like Daniel Craig piercing blue eyes, and she's got piercings, just like about 3 or 4 on each eye, couple, 3 or 4 in the nose, all the down up in their ears. Then he introduces Hella Horn. So Hella she says, is a former model, but turned Storm Knight from Germany. She is ponytailed blonde, and she has an eye patch over her left eye, and you can see a jagged scar that comes down from it as well. She's only about 5'6", but you can see the beauty and her fitness from it. And then Tony Lee. Tony Lee is an Asian male. His hair is very close crop, flat top, 5'7", 140 pounds, so it's pretty small than the other team. Much more leaner, and the only thing different, underneath his kit on his back, you can see the handle of a katana. And so after introductions are done, Roger starts kitting up. It takes him a while. And at that point, he says, from there, it's like, Midge, you're going to be pairing with the elf. Said, you and me, big boy, we're going to be flying
You
stand
can
up
handle
together.
me. I'm looking at the others. You're going to be able to carry me?
Well, we're going to be harnessed in, so don't worry about it. I got you. I'll get you down safely. Tony said, you're going to be with the Padre here. And then Hella, she's doubled up with you. And Svetlana, you'll be taking Ava here. So your jump partner, they get out a harness and they get you rigged up in the harness. And after you're all harnessed up and ready to go, you guys load up on the plane. Anything you're doing up till then, or?
I'm watching Azrael through the whole thing.
I'm playing along. Like, apparently this is fine. It's just, it feels weird to me, but everybody's acting like this is real normal, so I'm gonna go for it. Gonna push aside my mistrust a little bit and start strapping into whatever I need to strap into.
So they load you up into the carrier, and then next thing you guys know, you're taxiing out on the runway and then heading up in the air.
Holding on very tight because I am not okay with this.
So, yeah.
Are there windows in the body where we are?
No, there's not. And so basically when you guys loaded up, it was just kind of a ramp on the carrier plane. Inside you can see benches kind of set up, and the Juliet company just kind of comes in, and almost like they have certain spots that they've already pinned out for themselves. They go to it. Midge puts in some earphones and just kind of kicks back and starts listening. Hella starts reading. Svetlana takes a nap. Roger is talking with one of the flight members about baseball. The other guy seems to be a Yankees fan, so the two of them are going back and forth. You don't know what the hell they're talking about, but they seem quite passionate about it. And in the area where you guys are sitting at, no windows.
So I'm going to head over to Elias. It would appear the Orioles are a religion.
Really?
Watch them. I have never seen anyone be this fervent.
I find it very interesting that there are so many, I'm going to call them alternate beliefs everywhere we go.
You look over and you hear a comment. Boris is actually looking kind of pissed and says something like, "You say Ripken isn't the greatest ever again, I'm going to punch you right in your fucking face."
Is he talking to me?
No.
He's talking to the guy
member.
over.
The Yankees fan.
To the Yankee fan.
They obviously don't teach discretion in their religion. They're very combative. Perhaps it's good that they're here.
I'll nod.
To myself, I'm super concerned because this seems to be a very high-profile mission with a lot of danger, and everybody is being too casual for my liking. So I'm, like, wide awake and, like, nervous, fidgety.
Well, I think they said that they've done this before, so maybe
That's no excuse for their level of casualness. That's there's a word for it when you put your guard down just because you've done it so many times that you're disregarding any possible danger.
Complacent.
That, thank you, my translator over here. They're too complacent.
Well, I can speak from experience in that the power of God and His will is a strong ally, and that alleviates me of just about any fear of anywhere I go.
I'm happy for
And
you.
they are religious as well, so perhaps they draw some similar type of strength.
From the Orioles?
Yes.
Okay.
I also heard a name up there, Yankee, so maybe they're at combative religions, each vexing the other.
I believe I remember hearing of Americans named Yankees, and I have heard Americans are quite arrogant. This could be that.
I look at them.
Wasn't a Yankee the guy that put the macaroni in his hat?
Yankee Doodle Dandy.
Yeah, that one. Is he one of their
Maybe.
the religious figures?
We should ask Boris. Boris!
He doesn't hear you guys. He's deep into his, debate with the crew member.
I do want to go closer and listen to this religious dispute.
So right now, it's somewhat changed over. They're arguing about some guy named Mickey Mantle, and he really wasn't the greatest.
I ask, is this Mickey Mantle was one of your prophets?
And so they kind of both look at you and it's like, the crewman says, "No, man, he was the greatest damn center fielder, Boris. He was not the greatest. Willie Mays is the greatest center fielder." And that kind of sparks off their debate back again.
What's a center fielder?
They both kind of stop and they look at each other. "We'll show you." So they bring up basically a tablet, and they ended up
Sketching out the field and like kind of...
No, they'll bring up like a
YouTube
YouTube and greatest center field catches, and you can see just different, just athletic prowess, acrobatic catches of a small white ball that is hit off
falling
a
from the
stick.
sky, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wonder why he's chasing that the way that he is.
Well, that's when they run him down. That's when they run down to catch.
Do you ever see in the pictures? So something for you to think about. If you never see in the pictures where the ball starts,
It's
it
falling
looks
from the
like it's
sky.
coming from heaven.
Right, it's falling from the sky, yeah, and he's chasing it with a strange... He has a strange synthetic hand, much like yours, maybe.
Catching the blessings from God.
I get it. I understand its composure.
After I see the video, I realize it's an Earth Sports. I just didn't understand the team names and what they were talking about. It made no sense until I was like, oh, it's a sports ball.
Sports ball.
So yeah, I mean, as you're expressing interest, then they start, kind of getting more into it, and they're thinking they have a new baseball convert.
I think I'm going to fall asleep.
Others do too.
I will listen about baseball for a while. I find it intriguing.
These two can go on and on about baseball. It is, pretty kind of amazing just how fast they switch back and forth, and names and numbers that they pull out. Don't know if they're making it up or if it's actually committed to memory, but they're very passionate about this.
Do I get the sense that this is not religion, it's actually a sport that they're talking about?
As you start listening and dissecting and waiting for actual dogma that you could pick out, yeah, it's not religious.
Yeah. Interesting.
It's competitive in nature.
Competitive.
So other people start, kind of sleeping or whatnot. Midge is just kind of still listening to music. Anybody that kind of gets by, or hears them, basically he's singing Beatles songs out loud.
So I get the impression this is going to be a long flight.
They tell you it's about 4 hours.
We might as well relax.
I
Save our
cannot
energy.
relax. I'm about to jump out of this plane.
We'll
Very
get to
loud
do
in
that
here.
soon.
Yeah, I don't want to.
I do want to ask about the bag that's going to be gently setting us down, that's been described that, will it adequately be able to hold both of us?
Absolutely.
Like, now, does he have his rigging on, or is it set out there? Are they standing with full rigging on, or
No.
Okay.
Just
harness? Okay.
Yeah, just the harness.
Okay,
So,
gotcha.
Jumpmaster hasn't given the
Okay.
the flag or notification yet. So
And I do ask, will there be any responsibilities that I need to, be aware of in this process, or will you be handling all of the heavy lifting?
So he tells you that you'll be strapped in, he'll be controlling the shoots and the release and the direction. He says that he just needs you to not panic.
Okay.
About 3.5 hours, the person is identified as a jump master, wakes people up, those who fell asleep, and then actually starts getting everybody rigged up. So your jump tandem and your harnesses, you guys are clicked in together.
Okay, so before we do that, I'm looking at logistics. I have a submachine gun and a sword.
So these guys are used to making a jump with kit.
Okay.
And so, yeah, they know how to rig it up to be able to...
It dangles below you.
Mm-hmm.
As long as my potions don't get crushed.
Oh, yeah, no, they would have, like, Pelican cases where, anything in there. So, again, it's Delphi Council, so they're going to provide you with, your unique blend of what you bring. So, yeah, I mean, your potions would be secured in a good case.
That they could be like, you don't need these.
So when you guys are ranging your jump, so as you get tied in, tandem and harnessed in, you're not facing each other, but you are, definitely in nice and tight and snug.
Nut to butt.
Yeah,
Yep.
nuts to butts.
Shuffling towards the door.
And which at what point, absolutely. And
Nope.
so as
Are we going out the back ramp or are we going out the side door?
background.
Oh, okay. We'll just run off the back ramp. Okay.
Just
Yeah.
walk to the edge.
Yeah. Like Teletubbies.
Yep. So at one point you see the red light that was inside, kind of lighting up for lighting, turn yellow, and so everyone just kind of starts lining up on the rail. The ramp goes down, and just that influx of air just whoosh, just comes rushing in, and
I'm not sure about this.
Didn't they say earlier the radiation badge yellow meant at risk?
Did we get the radiation badges?
oh yeah, you absolutely did.
Okay, so we have
Yeah,
radiation.
absolutely did. So at that point, oxygen masks are affixed to you guys, so you can breathe.
I appreciate that.
And the first team up is Tony and Father Elias. And so the jump master just taps Tony's arm, and you guys end up basically just kind of tandem running out the ramp, and then right next to us all the way down.
That looks really, really scary. Are you sure?
And at that point, the team kind of comes down, and you are now 28,000 feet up in the air, descending.
That's a really long time.
Screaming.
That's a long time.
I
That's-
am.
Yeah, a minute.
I may be
That's gonna be a
silent.
minute.
I might be silent screaming, but my mouth is open, and I am not enjoying this.
I believe this is a test. And you exposed me to what it would be like to become a full-fledged angel someday.
So at this point, I need you guys to make a willpower roll.
Keep it together.
Keep your shit together.
Not crap ourselves mid-jump.
It's going to be a standard roll, so difficulty 10. Unless for a reason somebody has fear of heights as part of their thing.
11.
7.
I don't have a fear of heights. I have fear of jumping out of
You
an
rolled
air.
terrible.
5.
4.
The 3 of us are losing it.
16. I have a full confidence. This is exactly the way my destiny has led me to.
You put yourself in God's
great.
hands,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
God has led you to this,
Yeah.
and you're actually one near heaven at this moment.
Look over the rest that are like struggling, flailing, and fighting against their tandem ride. They're starting to tumble head over heels. I go like this.
So you guys right now ultimately are going to be stymied just because of the effect of just coming down and jumping. You're harnessed in, and through radio your tandem partner is they're trying to calm you down. So they're definitely trying to just calm you down, get you to relaxed. And so let's see here. What was was a 5? 4. So your partner rolls on their persuasion a 31, which gives them a plus 10 to their roll. So they're able to calm you down to a point where you're not going to fuck up the lines. Azrael, what was yours? 5. So Hella's with you, and she's struggling to get you to calm down. And which actually at a point, she basically, you're harnessed into the front with her, and you could just kind of like start just reaching and pulling out, and she actually is
Dials down your oxygen mask.
Cuts me loose.
Nails you with carbon dioxide and you pass out.
So she gets to a point where you're struggling is so bad.
Like spinning.
Well, yeah, because she tries to grapple you, and at this point that grappling's not work, and you're fighting the grapple, and so instead of like coming down into a nice flat frog pose, basically as you guys are just going through the air, you kind of start tumbling.
Yeah, you start going up.
Ooh, I'm so dizzy.
All bad.
Yeah, this is really bad.
Super dangerous.
And especially because your chutes aren't open, so like out of character, the hey-ho is you're actually going down and descending for quite a ways, quite a bit of time.
I was googling that. I was like, how long would it take to fall
How long?
28,000 feet? And if there's no wind resistance, it would take 43.2 seconds, but there's wind resistance, so it would take longer than that. So we're just like struggling,
You're right.
falling.
You guys are stumbling and tumbling, and so with 7. So Svetlana is with you, and she's able to calm you down, but barely. You're barely keeping it together.
I tell my tandem, our friends are in trouble, as I kind of motion over to Azrael and her tandem.
You start throwing tea.
Here, drink this.
Well, they might be able. My tandem might be able to dive down and get level with you and help stabilize you guys. Well,
And that's what Tony tries to do.
and I will try and assist him in that, to not resist. Just kind of follow his direction.
He tells you to tuck everything in. So
Everything.
And so so he tells you to basically to tuck in and get small and tight as you can with them, and he just angles in and just takes a dive and starts going towards. So what I need you to do, Shan, is I need you to roll a strength roll, and Tony is going to help as they try to get you guys righted. 7, and Tony at this point is trying to go, and you guys are just tumbling so hard, and he's able to get you guys righted, and right now you guys have not been able to straighten out and are starting to turn, and so
Can I spend a possibility?
yes, you can.
10.
Difficulty was not that, so you guys again, you're just continuing to just go spiral out of control. At this point, you're not at terminal velocity because you guys aren't, set for aerodynamic, but you are out of control.
Can we all try to go in and grab hands?
It's like when
All
there's
make a big ring?
like choreographed swimming, except it's in the sky.
So Svetlana is doing everything she can to kind of keep you calm, so she's not able to help.
Yeah, I'm not. I just barely made it, so I'm not great, but I am trying to get Midge to head that way as well.
So Midge sees it and starts heading over. Tony is still working, and so Midge and Tony start coming in close as you and Hella are continuing just a spinning.
Can I assist Tony in any way?
So no, because he's using his.
Right.
Basically, they're using him and Midge are using their game mechanics to be able to get the assist, and you can see them working real hard to try to straighten you guys out and stop this tumble flow. As just the panic that you're feeling is. Hella's doing everything she can to kind of just keep you steady and trusting your teammates to get her teamed out. The ground, you can now actually start seeing the ground, and it is coming up alarmingly fast.
Is it dark outside or is it light outside?
It's dark.
We're supposed to be getting in at
So we
0400.
can't even see the ground. You don't know how fast it's coming up.
Right.
Just the
We're
lights.
tumbling
You
so
just-
fast I can't tell where's the ground and where's
Yeah,
the
you can
sky.
just, as you guys are tumbling, you can just start catching glimpses of it.
Maybe a timed shoot release where it just.
And at this point, we are going to wrap up this session.
Oh shit.
Ooh, man.
Of course.
That's crazy.
Thank you for joining us on another NCRP Productions podcast. We couldn't do this without you, so please like and subscribe everywhere we're found, including YouTube, Facebook, Anchor, Google, Apple, Spotify, and other great podcast sites. If you'd like to help us continue making more content, we'd love to have your support on our Patreon. And we'd like to give a special shout out to our current patrons, our Siegson Employees of the Month, Michael H., Michael P., and our Breaker of Seals, Frank H., Christopher C., Matthew K.
Thank you all. We truly, truly appreciate it.
And a very special thanks to our fantastic artist, Jacob Blackmon, who you can reach on his Patreon under his name, or DeviantArt under the name Prodigy Duck.